Great to have you back with us. You're watching BNS and the Stock Game.
All right, and a quick glimpse of the markets before we get started with those individual recommendations. And 74.45, so we're still hovering around that 74.50 mark on the Nifty. And meanwhile, still looking at a cut of about 160 odd points on the Sensex. A quick check-in on the big movers in the session right now. Vedanta continues to be the top loser, 5.5% gone here. Metals, keep in mind, have taken a hard knock today. So Hindalco is not too far behind. And you also have Kane following up with a cut of about 3 odd percent. HDFC, Tata Steel and BPCL are some of the other big losers. And as can be imagined, the advance decline ratio is clearly in favor of the bears this morning. But on the flip side, Tech Mahindra is actually holding out quite smartly, currently at a level of 462. But with that, let's get started with the stock game as well. A quick look at the rules. We have 3 experts who are with us an entire week. They're given a notional amount of 5 lakh rupees, which they allocate across 4 stocks. 2 of those stocks are changed every single day, and if you have a target or a stop loss that's triggered, that is also replaced for the following day. And the end of the week, that's generally on the Fridays, that we declare the winner depending on whoever makes the most amount of returns on their portfolio. So let's introduce the 3 experts who are with us this week. We've got Mandar Jamsandekar of Precision Technical Analysis, Ruchit Jain of Angel Broking, as well as Siddharth Sidani of Sharekhan. Gentlemen, good morning and great to have you with us as always. And let's get started with your first 2 ideas. And Mandar, you were picking an HUL to short, and there's Ken on the buy list this morning, and unfortunately Ken's had quite a turnaround today.
True, Mega. Good morning. First one is Hindustan Unilever. The stock, I have picked this as a sell. The reason is the stock was trading in an overall range between 870 and 770 for the last 7 months. Now, as it has moved to the higher end of this range between 860 and 870, the stock now is facing resistance, and selling can be clearly seen in the EOD charts, and therefore I had a sell with a stop loss at 835 for a target of 817. And second, as you said, Kane has not sustained at higher levels. Kane, I had picked, the reason is yesterday it had broken short-term resistance. This was at around 132, 33 levels. And as it broke this level, the next resistance was at around 142. So I expected the stock to move up to 142, and therefore I had a buy with a stop loss at 133 for a target of 142 today.
Okay, that's a call coming in from Mandar on HUL as well as Kane India. But let's move on then and talk about Lupin as well as IndusInd. That is Ruchit's next pick. Ruchit, let's talk about Lupin first and a buy call on this one with a target price of 1910. What is it that you like about Lupin, and is this the only stock that you like from the pharma space? In addition to that, you've decided to go short on IndusInd, and for that you've placed a target of about 900. And if you can tell us about your rationale for this one as well.
Yeah, good morning. Overall, we have seen that Lupin is trading in an uptrend. From the first week of Feb itself, we have seen that the stock had rebounded higher from its medium to long-term support of 1600. Since then, it's trading in a sideways range, and within the sideways range, the stock has formed a double bottom around 1700. Yesterday's trading session, we saw some good volume picking up along with an up move, which indicates the fresh buying again in the counter. We are anticipating an up move at least up to 1865 first, and then up to 1910. So even at current levels, for short-term trading, one can initiate a buying position in Lupin, keeping a stop loss below 1770, target of 1865, and second target of 1910. My second call I've given is a sell call in IndusInd Bank. Although overall the banking space, private banking space has done well in last 1 week. In IndusInd Bank, we are seeing formation of a bearish pattern over here. It's a bearish harmonic pattern being formed at current levels, whose potential reversal zone is in around 925 to 928. So currently stock is trading into PRZ, and hence I believe a corrective action would come in next couple of days in this stock. We don't have very aggressive targets on the downside, but up to 900 it's what I'm expecting in next couple of days for this stock.
All right, those are the first 2 ideas that Ruchit is working with right now. Meanwhile, let's discuss Siddharth's first 2 picks. As an Inox Leisure on the list. 211 is the current level. What sort of targets are you working in? What are you tracking fundamentally for this exhibition player? And also Ultratech Cement, and all said to be one of the biggest cement players in the country.
Well, Inox is one of the urban consumption play altogether. If you look at the quarterly results, it was a little bit subdued altogether. But having said that, what are the plans of the company going forward is looking for 645 screens to develop in next 2 to 3 years versus they have a 413 odd screens as of now. Looking at that, looking at the completely ad revenue growth, which they have got around 8%. If you talk about the margins also, FY 17 and 18, the management is expecting quite a good margin expansion going forward. If we talk about footfalls, is higher by 11%. So overall, in the F&B foods and beverages segment, where the crux of the entire business lies, I think there also they have seen around 5.4% growth. So looking at the entire picture, what we believe is this urban consumption play and the kind of expansion they are looking at, it's a quite a good fit in the play. Apart from that, the second idea of the day would be Ultratech being the largest player in the cement space and even inorganically growing. Currently would be around 92 million tons after the acquisition of 22 million ton of JP. So if the approval gets by 12 to 15 months, JP acquisition was done around 110 EV $110 EV per ton, where the current valuation of the company EV per ton is around 173. So it has got a very good deal overall pan India presence. So what we believe is Ultratech would be the best cement play. On top of it, the budget thrust was there on infrastructure. So we believe Ultratech would be the key beneficiary in the entire sector with a target of 3580.
All right. Well, we have discussed the two picks already, and we have yet to discuss the other two picks of each of our guests. Stay tuned. We'll step into a short break, but lots more on the other side. Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now, the stock game. Quickly take a look at our guest portfolio then and talk about Mandar's portfolio and last two picks that he has. Century Textile, buy call on this one, and Wockhardt as well. Mandar, quickly take us through your rationale.
Yeah, the third one is Century Textiles. This stock was trading between 418 and 470 for the last 1 month. Yesterday, the stock broke the resistance at 470 and closed above it. The next resistance now comes in at around 491. Expecting the momentum to continue on the long side, I have a buy in this with a stop loss at 472 for a target of 488. And the last stock that I have is Wockhardt Pharma. In the last 1 month, we have witnessed the stock fall from 1300 to the recent close of 710. On 2nd of March, the stock has made a trend change breakout pattern on the daily time frame charts. This pattern says that in a month, the stock should be able to display a 15 to 20% upside move. Therefore, a buy with a stop loss of 735, expecting a big move today. I have a target of 1040.
Okay, and well, let's find out what Richard's picking as his third and fourth idea. And Richard, it's an RB Infra and Bharti Infratel. What are the charts you're suggesting?
Now, IRB Infra have placed a sell call over here. We are observing multiple resistances around 230 in this stock. Firstly, we have a 89 days of exponential moving average coming in around 230. We have a super trend resistance around 230, and also AB is equal to CD pattern from the lows where alternate legs are of equal length. So all these three patterns are suggesting the major resistance coming in around 230, 232 range in this stock. So we are expecting a corrective move again from current levels. On the lower side, I have placed a target of 222 for a day or two, in which we can see, and one can place a stop loss over 233 for short positions. My last was a buy call in Bharti Infratel. Overall, the stock has been in a narrow range. We have seen since last few days, the prices are trading in a range where on higher end of the range is around 393, 394. Couple of days back, in fact last week, we have seen formation of a bullish engulfing pattern within this range, and hence we are expecting the stock to move towards the higher end of the range. And hence I have placed a buy call in Bharti Infratel, stop loss 367, target 393.
Sure, that's a call coming in on Bharti Infratel. Siddharth, let's quickly discuss your last two ideas, completely running out of time. Tata Motors, Britannia, what's your rationale?
The third idea would be Tata Motors with a target of 467. We expect a strong volume growth coming in as JLR is the mainstay of the consolidated business. We expect around 16 to 17% volume growth in the JLR business altogether, and even the CV cycle reviving going forward. So Tata Motors is the third pick, and the fourth pick of the day would be Britannia, with being the second largest biscuit player and 3.5 million reach to the retail segment, direct and indirect. We see Britannia to do good volume growth around 10 to 11%, whereas margins also to improve going forward. They are entering into the dairy segment of 75,000 crores. So we believe in the consumption play. Britannia also fits the bill with the target of 3650.
Okay, those are the top recommendations coming for today from our experts. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining in as always. And with that, we wrap it up right here on the Stock Game. Thanks for watching, and Market Sense is up next.